What's up, guys? This is Zombie Ruffian with Zombie Cigar Reviews. Today I'm going to be going over the S.T.K Black Dahlia cigar. So I'm going to get it cut, lit, and I'll come back with my review. Right off the bat, so far I'm getting hay, like a faint pepper, like a little bit of spice on the retro hell. It's very faint though, it's not very long. The filler comes from Colombia, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. The binder is Nicaragua and Habano, and the wrapper is from Nicaragua. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the first third, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so getting into this first third, still, like I said, just getting the hay. Like I said, it's just a faint spice, maybe like a white pepper maybe, on the retro hell. It's performing okay, it's pretty good. This is one of my favorite cigars. I just like the way it tastes. The wrapper, the band is awesome too. I love this band. So I'm gonna continue smoking the first third, and I'll come back when I'm into the second third. Alright, you guys, real quick, I just want to let you guys know how I kind of got into cigars. In November of 2014, I was having a game night with my family and I felt like smoking a cigar, so I went to Bevmo and I picked up a Cohiba Red Dot in the tube, and I smoked that and I enjoyed it that night. I was like, man, this is something I could really get into. I told myself I was gonna, start smoking a little bit every once in a while on occasion, but nothing ever really happened from that night though. I wasn't as enthused as I thought I was, I guess. But then last year, 2017, my wife had went on a business trip to Florida, and when she came back, she had brought me a cigar. It was the Camacho Corojo in the aluminum tube, and I enjoyed that in July of 2017, and we were by the pool. I cut it, I smoked it, and I was just really enjoying it. It was a wrap from there. I was like, man, I don't know why I didn't get back into these, and I wish I would have sooner, but from that point on, I was hooked, and that's where I started my collection. I started smoking different sizes, different shapes. I've tried a few flavored and infused cigars. I've tried just different things, and that's how I found my love for the leaf, basically. So I'll get back to the review. All right, you guys, getting into the second third. I'm still getting a little bit of hay, but it's really mellowed out. I've started to pick up hints of coffee and some like creaminess on the finish. It's really nice. I like it. This would probably go, well, almost any cigar would go good with coffee, but I think this one would go really good with some coffee. It's medium to full, not a lot of strength. The smoke output is pretty decent. The burn is pretty razor. So still smoking good. I'm still enjoying it. Like I said, the S.T.K Black Dahlia is one of my favorite cigars. And if you didn't know what STK stands for, it stands for Stay True Kid. Something I found out when I was looking up some info on the cigars and whatnot, so I thought that was cool, just a little insight. Also, the that slight spiciness has dissipated. I don't really get it anymore on the retro hell or on the finish or anything. It was like a white pepper, but it was very faint in the like first light basically. So I'm gonna continue smoking and I'll see you guys in the final third. As you can see, the construction is well on this cigar. The ash is a little bit flaky, but it's holding on. Getting closer to that final third. So I'll be back. Approaching the final third, the ash just finally fell off. Still performing great. Obviously the construction is great. Some of the coffeeness is dissipated a little bit, but it's still there. Like faintly, a little bit of the hay is returned in the draw. It's like faint, like an accent kind of in the back of it. So I'm gonna finish up, get a little bit closer to this final third, halfway through it, and I'll come back with the final third and my final thoughts on the cigar. Thank you. Alright you guys, so getting into this final third, the coffeeness is slightly still there. I'm definitely getting some nuttiness now, and a little bit of cedar. And the hay has kind of come back a little bit on that too, on the retro hell and on the back of the draw. And actually that little bit of spice that was there at the very beginning returned faintly also on the retro hell. Still like a white pepper, nothing overbearing or too strong. Still medium to full. This is a good just anytime stick. It's not too pricey, so it's not too bad on the pockets. Yeah, there's nothing I can say wrong about the cigar. The burn is still pretty good. So, you know, I'm gonna continue smoking. I'll be back in a little bit to finish off and give my final thoughts. So finishing this up, I'm gonna do my ratings. Basically how I'm gonna rate my cigars is you get a point for each category. The most points you get is 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. So for the first thing is going to be on look or curb appeal. When you go into a B&M or if you're buying it online, just how it draws your attention. The band, the way the wrapper looks, all that. So for the Black Dahlia, I'm definitely giving it its full point. For the price, like I said, this is not a pricey stick, and it's an excellent stick for the price, so it's getting a full point for that. On the construction, like I said, the construction was flawless. The ash held on through almost the whole second third, barely falling off towards the end of it, so it's getting its full point on that. For complexity and notes, I'm giving it a half point because there wasn't a whole lot of complexity, and it did have some good notes, but they weren't extravagant or over the top or like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. But it's just a good solid smoke with good solid flavors. So I gave it a half a point for that. And then the overall experience, when I'm smoking the cigar, it doesn't need a lot of work or anything. Like I said, there's not a lot of smoke output, which is good, but I just gave it a half a point. Like I said, it's not extravagant. Like you could have it as like a celebratory cigar maybe, but this is just a good anytime cigar. In the morning with a cup of coffee, after dinner, or after just a meal, it would be good too. It's just a good stick overall. So that's how I rate it. So it was basically a 4. So check it out, the S.T.K Black Dahlia. Alright, finishing out here, you guys, just want to thank you guys for your support. Please subscribe to the channel, Zombie Cigar Reviews. You can find me on Instagram at Zombie Ruffian. Thanks again. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you did, give me a thumbs down. Please enjoy your cigars, enjoy your day. Thanks for rocking with me. Peace.